Hi everyone, welcome to Power Your Brand with Data-Led Insights. My name is Jonathan Hart, Head of Product here at Census Data Solutions. I am joined by Melina Neng, our Marketing Specialist. Hi Melina.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. Really happy to be here today.
I echo that sentiment. We are moving on to this webinar, but before we get started properly, here is a quick bit of housekeeping. If you've got a question, please type away here in that panel. You will be on mute for the duration of the webinar, but we will respond to questions at the end, or hopefully, even if we've got time, one of our panelists here will answer your question during the session. So who are Census Data Solutions? We offer a range of sophisticated and intelligent services to transform any customer database into becoming more accurate, powerful, and useful. We work with a range of clients to make the most of their data, ensuring every interaction that they have with their customers is meaningful. We have over 20 years experience in helping businesses to keep their customer databases valid and up to date. Collectively as an organisation, we have over 100 years of experience across the team. We offer a range of end-to-end data solutions covering requirements across data cleansing, verification, market and audience segmentation, consumer information, customer connections, and so much more. So Melina, you are the marketing brains behind Census Data Solutions. What do all successful brands have in common?
Thanks, Jono. That is a really, really good question. I know that I've thought out answers to this many times before, and I'm sure most of you who are listening today have also looked into how successful brands do business. There are, of course, dozens of reasonably good models on how to achieve brand success. And with the countless books, lectures, and podcasts based on this topic, I just want to point out that there are so many different paths you can take to shape your own brand success. However, today, I really wanted to narrow it down for you. So I did a little research to find themes or practices that are common to those organizations that are successful out in the market. So beginning on the left, you'll see the book Fusion by Denise Lee Yon. This amazing book looks at building strong internal cultures. So Yon says that organizations should integrate their brand and culture to create new growth that isn't achievable by simply cultivating one or the other alone. Yon explores how successful organizations such as Amazon have fused their workplace culture and brand identity to the point that they are indistinguishable. In Amazon's case, their growth, productivity, and innovation have resulted from their relentless high-performance culture that is always focused on the customer and investing in new tech to benefit them. So this culture has created a brand where they're able to push the boundaries of an on-demand, efficient, and smart delivery service. Amazon is really, really successful because everyone supports this innovation and progressiveness, and they're all aligned on working towards this together. Now, moving on to the right of the screen, you'll see the golden circle, or the Start With Why model from Simon Sinek. This is pretty popular, and I'm sure you've heard of it before. But just to summarize, Sinek states that great organizations know the reason why they exist, as distinct from what they do and how they do it. Once organizations understand this, they can embed their why in workplace culture, which creates a unified higher purpose that drives the organization. So when you have this clean and simple why, organizations can build their brand to attract and connect customers who also believe in their why. I'd like to use Nike as a great brand example here. We all know who Nike are and are well aware of its Just Do It mantra. Nike is a brand that stands for something bigger than the products they sell. You know, they believe in performance, authenticity, innovation, and support social issues that go far beyond than just their footwear. If you're a social media lover like myself, you may have come across Nike's Show Them What Crazy Can Do campaign. This really caught my attention and resonated with me because it supports empowerment and encourages women to go beyond their limits. So what I'm trying to say is that brands who know their reason for existence can make us feel something, which tend to be the ones that lead, inspire, and build customer loyalty. Now, in the beginning, I did point out that there are countless articles and guides on how to build a successful brand. But from the two examples we've talked about now, we can really boil it down to one commonality. Successful brands have a powerful, defined brand identity and workplace culture. All right, so now we're going to dig a little deeper to explore how successful brands actually do business and interact with their customers. As I've spoken about in the last slide, it's important to know your why. Brands that know their reason for existence can better serve their customers as they share the same values and beliefs. With this, brands can make better decisions around products and services that are in the best interest of their customers, only because they're always focused on the purpose. In a way, this makes brands naturally customer-centric. So if you know your why, then it's safe to assume that your customers also believe in your cause. But how do you really get to know them beyond your brand purpose and beliefs? What about their other beliefs, other values, attitudes, and even preference for products or media usage? So to develop your organization's customer centricity, you need a full picture of who your customers really are. Now, you're going to hear me speak a little bit about customer centricity, and I'm sure this is a term we've all heard of more than once. There are, of course, an abundance of articles and people who have come across in the past that have spoken about being customer-centric and how important it is to put the customer first. I admit that I can be one of those people that harp on about this. But I also understand that keeping up with customer centricity can be overwhelming, particularly if you're so busy with your day that keeping on top of the latest trends beyond what you see on your news feed is just not possible. However, we must embrace customer centricity, otherwise we'll damage our brand, potentially damage our customer relationships, as well as increase churn rates. And that's why we're here today to talk through how you can begin with a customer focus or build upon it if your organization already embodies this. To us, we believe that successful brands are successful because they know exactly what their customers want, what they need, and what they desire. These brands know how their own products and services can meet those wants, needs, desires, and much more. Importantly, successful brands recognize that not all the customers are the same. Because of this, they talk to different customers in a way that they will best respond to via the channels where their customers pay most attention to. But the question still remains here. How do you know where to begin with all of this? Now, let's look at understanding your customers through data. Beginning from this will really help you develop more of a customer-centric focus. So customer data should really drive the heart and soul of a brand's approach. Brands that leverage customer data generated from the digital world will be the ones that succeed. Drawing rich insights from customer data allows brands to, deliver personalized experiences. They can optimize marketing messages, deliver great products, and make smarter business decisions. Effective database segmentation can really help to achieve this kind of customer centricity. You'll better understand the humans behind your database and be able to organize them into targetable groups. Segmenting your database will allow you to draw actionable insights to deliver the quality and relevance that today's customer expects. In the next slide, I'll have Jono explain how Census Data Solutions can help you with all of this.
So thank you very much, Melina. That was really awesome. So everyone, customer segmentation allows you to become more effective and unique with your approach towards customers. So I want to talk about Helix Personas, which is Australia's most advanced customer segmentation tool. Some of you may have heard us talk about this at Salesforce, as I mentioned before. Some of you may have seen our webinar from last month, which talked about this. And if you haven't seen that, I can go into more detail on this tool. Go back to our YouTube page or on our website, you'll see some more information. But effectively, from what Melina was talking about, you can use Helix Personas segmentation and psychographic information at the core of your marketing strategy to drive a personalized customer experience. The smart data that's in this amazing tool will help you drive business decisions, including things like product development, even where to place new offices or stores, retail store layout, including product signage, displays, external advertising, everything. We're absolutely happy to work with you, of course, to clean your database before segmenting your audiences. We can do that very, very easily with our macro match tool. And of course, we want to help you maximize the potential of your database with an in-depth understanding of what your customer wants, what they need, and their personalities and lifestyle. So just a little bit more about Helix Personas. We're a partner of Roy Morgan, the market research organization that's been around for over 100 years. And they integrated the Helix Persona into our data quality suite. So it means that we can apply the Helix Personas to your customer lists to provide that additional insight that I spoke about before. So just in terms of how that practically works, what will happen is that we'll have your existing customer database tagged up with Helix Personas by matching their address details to what we call mesh blocks of where they live. All we need is a unique identifier and the address. If you haven't got addresses, you've only got, say, phone numbers and email addresses, we can certainly talk about what we can do there as well. So the file is coded and returned back to you. You integrate that back into your CRM, and it'll allow you to do that segmentation analysis on those individual customers. So you'll be able to work out from that what the most profitable customers are, ones that spend the most, ones that respond to different offers, ones that tend to churn, and maybe why that is based on that segmentation. The segmentation works to 6 communities, and of those 6 communities, we break it down further into 54 different personas. And using those segmentations, you'll be able to gain rich insights into your customers' values, attitudes, behavior, consumption, media usage, and much, much more. So let me navigate now out to the Roy Morgan Helix Personas website. Here it is. I'm logged in. So what you'll see if I browse down a little bit here is 4 of those 6 communities: leading lifestyles, metro techs, aspirationals, hearth and home, doing fine, and fair go. And as I said before, it breaks it down to 54 below that. Today we're going to look at aspirationals. So I can click here to look at that, and that'll show me all the different personas below that, such as savvy shoppers, getting ahead, prosperous future, lifestyle seekers, trend hunters, fantastic, and experience seekers. There's a little bit of information here, and you can go to read a bit more about it. And today what we're going to do is go to lifestyle seekers. Funnily enough, if you were to code up a database that included me, this would be me. Lifestyle seekers. People who belong to this persona are well educated and more progressive and socially aware than most of their aspirational community counterparts. Thank you very much. We care about issues that affect society at large and believe we should all be doing our bit by donating to charity regularly. You'll see lifestyle seekers clustered most significantly in Melbourne and in Brisbane, with a significant portion outside of the urban areas in Queensland. So that's just a bit of a talk about us. That, I mean, to be honest, it pretty much describes me and my family. You'll see here average age of 38. That's actually exactly what I am. Wish that was true. And a lot of other things here that actually do seem to, really do pin me down and pin my family down. So if you were trying to market to me, we could talk about where you would walk with me. So this is where I'll be physically, maybe having a less emotionally demanding job, maybe. I have a son that turned 20. That's definitely not true. And things here about my values. You can talk to me. How would you connect with me? Ideas are my currency. Flaunt your social responsibility credentials. Yeah, I would absolutely work with an organization in my personal life that had social responsibility credentials. I wear Nike shoes at the gym, for example, talking about how that was an example from a leader before. How would you reach me? You'll find me online. That's definitely true. Not that keen on commercial TV. Absolutely not. More on the Netflix, more on the Stan, for example. So there's a whole bunch of information here about how you connect to that kind of individual like me or like my family, like the people that live in the streets around me. So that's just a really, really excellent way of seeking all this information out. So as I said before, getting to know your customers, we can code up your database. But what's important as well is not only just what you know today, but also about the people that are coming into your organization or coming into your business. So using our live data validation tool called TotalCheck that we can implement in your website, in Salesforce or any other CRM, you'll be able to code up Helix personas of people that you have coming into your system. You even be able to, hypothetically, get that information really upfront in a conversation with a customer and actually talk to them on the phone or in a retail store, for example, to their particular requirements without even having brought them on as a customer just yet. Additionally, as I said before, there's more detail on our previous webinar about this. There's a tool we call the Live Audience Evaluation tool. Effectively, what you do is you implement a little, we call it pixel, onto your website, on any individual page for website you want to track, and it actually will allow us, using some different tools behind the scenes from different technology partners, to identify what the Helix persona is of a person who visits your website. And you'll be able to track, for example, whether that person is converted as a customer, converted as a lead, or if they're turned off by particular parts of your website. The Roy Morgan tool also has a live mapping tool, which allows you to identify hotspots of customer demand. You can overlay your customer database into that website. You could overlay some other research information that Roy Morgan makes available, or even just ABS data, and really make sure you can have a really good visual idea where your customers are and respond to that kind of demand. For example, as I said before, that may be where you choose to put a retail store. Maybe you want to change the way your retail store is set up based upon the people that live around it and shop in your region. Okay. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of what the power of these tools are. I just want to present a couple of extra, more in-depth case studies to give you a bit of an idea of how to actually put this into your organization. And one is retail. So we've worked with a fast-moving consumable goods retailer recently who's got a national presence, and they were traditionally focused on a particular market segment built around convenience and budgetary messages. So in terms of Roy Morgan, we probably put that around the 400, 500, 600 kind of segments. So with Helix Personas, they refreshed their ideas of segmentation using the mapping and the loyalty database coding tools. Using all that information that they were able to glean there, they developed strategies to speak to all 6 Helix communities based on location, messages that resonate, distribution across appropriate channels. So they're able to lead with their brand as appropriate for each market, rather than just focusing on what they said, traditional budgetary and convenience messages in particular parts of the community that works. So the results, they experienced an increase in sales for all the reasons we talked about before. So the second case study relates to a franchise business, actually a franchise home maintenance business. So if you can imagine home maintenance, web presence and their online brand is key. Most of their customer referrals come from searching online. So you think about the Facebook community groups where people recommend things, an online search where you might see a listing in Yellow Pages or White Pages, for example, and also just general Googling. So using Helix Personas mapping and a review of their existing customer database, they've been able to establish their key geographic markets, including those they don't currently service with a franchisor. So using the Helix Personas Live Audience tool, they were also able to confirm the personas of people that visited their websites and those that lodged a query and those that didn't. They were also able to take control of their location management using the White Pages Connect tool, which includes taking control of their Google My Business, Facebook and Instagram presence, plus many more. We haven't spoken about that tool just yet. I'll cover that on the next slide. Results, their social and SEO marketing efforts have been enhanced. They're converting more leads at a lower price. And also, where the real money in this organization is attracting franchisees to license a geographic area. They're able to provide really, really in-depth, detailed reports of what a franchisor will be walking into, and it made the compelling arguments for a franchisor to pick up a new area that much easier to sell and attracted much better quality of franchisors according to the feedback we received. So we know it's important for brands to have consistent, complete, and up-to-date information when customers search online. Inaccurate and incomplete information has the potential to damage your brand reputation and impact on sales. Think about things like incorrect phone numbers or incorrect dates of opening, or even just incorrect, location information. These things have the potential to really hurt your business. So the White Pages Connect tool helps you manage your digital presence. It's a simple, powerful, streamlined tool that gives you a single point of control to keep your business details up to date, reply to reviews, and schedule posts across 30 major sites, all with a single click, giving you a really powerful brand tool.
Thanks, Jono. So that was some really, really good information, and we wanted to summarize this webinar for you in 5 key points. Number 1, successful brands put customers at the heart of everything they do. So this is the essence of customer centricity. In a way that you can be customer centric is to leverage your data to understand who your customers are, the choices they make, and why they make them. Another key takeout is that effective database segmentation allows you to understand the humans behind your database and organize customers into targetable groups for better planning. So as we've spoken about today, Helix Personas, and we've demoed that a little bit as well, it enables you to draw rich insights from your customer data to optimize marketing messages, deliver personalized experiences, improve product development, and much, much more. And the last key point that we'd like you to take away is that through better use and application of data, you'll support a better customer experience and improve business outcomes. This is because you know exactly what your data is saying and can make smarter business decisions around this. Awesome. So moving on to questions now, I see that a lot of you have been very attentive with the volume of questions that have come through. So let's begin. Okay. First question for you, Jono. What are the other data solutions that we offer to provide an enhanced customer experience, as we've only mentioned Helix today?
Yeah, great question, Mel. And some of our existing customers know this, and I'm happy to talk about these in more detail with anyone later on. But probably the 2 or 3 things I'd name very upfront would be our macro match tool, the batch data validation. It's got around 40 different things we can do, plus of course some more bespoke services based on your requirements. Our live data validation tool called Total Check, which does a range of data validations for things like phone numbers, email addresses here in Australia and also overseas. I'd also highlight our data consultation team. So we'd be really happy to work with you in terms of looking at your entire ecosystem of data collection of customer data and what we can do to really help improve that from end to end.
Great. Another good question. So pricing around Helix Personas, I see quite a few people are interested in this tool.
Well, we're absolutely happy to follow up with people individually. Pricing really comes down to exactly what you're looking for. So from a Helix perspective, there's, of course, the database information, the different range of tools you've got with the mapping, the audience evaluation tool, the pixels on your website, and of course our coding. It all comes down to what your requirements are. So let's have those conversations with you directly. We're looking forward to talking to you.
Great. And lucky last, how do we supply you with our customer database to enrich with the different Helix personas?
Yeah, so great question. Absolutely. Quite broadly, the macro match tool has an ability for us to securely allow you to upload data that will only be accessible to us to do that coding process, and then purge very quickly after that to keep your data and your customers secure. So again, we'll talk to you individually about that and provide you credentials to go and make that secure transfer.
Awesome. So that's all we have time for today. Unfortunately, we couldn't get through all the questions, but thank you for posting them. It really shows that you've been engaged and participating. We will definitely reach out to answer those remaining, but thanks.
So thanks, Mel. So if you want to hear more, and you particularly about leveraging your data for brand success, or if you're still curious about Helix personas, we would love to hear from you. Our phone number is 1-800-033-807. We're available 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, Melbourne business days. Our email address and website are there as well. So once again, I appreciate everyone's time. It's really great to have this kind of session to talk with you, but of course we want to hear from you more. If you can click after this session, the post-webinar survey to let us know what you think about this, and I'll provide that feedback to the people you speak to on the phone from Census Data Solutions. We'd love to get the feedback. But once again, thank you, Mel, and thank you to our customers. We'll speak to you next time.